How you doing? It's Coach Randy Byrd, and we're looking at week 3 database and how to use it. More importantly, your database is just this. Don't overcomplicate it. It is a system of where you've got the contacts and contact information for your people, often referred to as DB database or SOI, sphere of influence. This is, it could be your cell phone. It could be a Rolodex. It could be a CRM, contact resource management system that you've put names and addresses and phone numbers into. Whatever it looks like, this is your real, this is the gold in your backyard of your business. If you think of it that way, there's gold buried all over the backyard in your database, and it's up to you to shovel a little dirt and look for the gold in that database. And we're always going to be adding to the database. So what we're going to be talking about today, for instance, is pipeline. What is the pipeline? The pipeline is a list of potential clients, either buying or selling in the future. Everybody in your database should be a potential customer, a buyer, a seller, an investor, a renter, a flipper, informational, whatever it may be. And my motto in my database is they're all equal, even if they can't afford a Schwinn, because they know somebody that may know somebody, right? So don't ever discount somebody in your database. We're going to teach you how to categorize that database for your benefit. An A, a B, a C, and a D client in your database for good reason, because the amount of frequency that we connect with them, as well as the messaging, could be tempered differently for each category. But let's start right now. You'll see on the list, we've added some names: Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Beyonce, Tom Brady. Urgency, when qualified, the timeline, buyers, or a listing. That's typically the two categories we're going to be looking at: a buyer or a seller. Even if they're investors or whatever it may be, we're going to put them in a category of a buyer or seller. So as we look at this, it's important to us to start identifying these people in our database of who's the most opportunistic, or who's the closest to being ready to buy and sell, right? Those are the ones we want to make sure that we're in good contact with. So as we look at this, we're going to talk about the sales funnel stages. You're going to see that we have awareness, interest, consideration, decision, purchase, right? So that's just the sales funnel process. If we look at the circles of influence, that may be people that you've been in clubs with, meaning that Seroptimist, Exchange Club, Rotary, La Tip, breakfast things, networking events, all that is a sphere of influence. They have a understanding of who you are, but they don't know and trust you yet. So we're going to build that through newsletters and through daily activity, weekly activity, monthly activity, communication, market snapshots. There's a lot of things that we're going to teach you how to do that just continues to pull them into your web of training their minds that you're the best agent for them, right? So it really doesn't have a lot of relevance on your experience at this point. We're building trust and we're building equity into the relationship with them. And once we build enough equity, then you have gained their trust. Your experience will take second seat to trust. Now, there's no exchange for experience. I understand that, but many of you haven't had the bandwidth of past sells, and you don't have the experience to go up against some of the top agents. So we're going to really provide them a lot of value. And the way we provide them value is knowledge. And that knowledge is trusting. And that trust leads into equity in the relationship. And then it becomes a professional, trusting relationship is what you're trying to achieve here, right? So very specifically, you're going to start with your database. You might have 15 people that you can add to it that you might have 50, you might have 100. Our goal is always 100. So no matter what, start with building your database and focus on 100 people. And I know it may seem difficult if you're new in the business, but start with, the common people, friends and family, neighbors, people you've done business with in any capacity before, people that know and trust you in some capacity. And then expand outside of that and start getting into your circle of influence. Where do you eat lunch every day? I have an Applebee's story I tell quite often. I was a regular at Applebee's. I was there 5-6 days a week. It was just kind of in my program, right? Either for lunch, taking clients there. It was very convenient by the office when I ran a Keller Williams office. Or it was the end of the day, enjoying a beer and meeting with friends, or I got to be kind of like a cheers environment. Well, what happened is everybody knew I was a real estate agent, even though I wasn't there talking about real estate, they knew that. And I presented myself in a professional behavior, important note. And so all of a sudden the bartender would be at lunch and somebody say, hey, I'm in town looking at properties. And they go, oh, I know the best real estate agent in Redding, California. And then they'd refer me. And so I taught them not just to refer me, but to actually dial me and hand them the phone at the bar in Applebee's during lunchtime. And we ended up doing so much business out of Applebee's that I had my own line item, which made me feel a lot better about the bill I was getting every month from Applebee's as well, because I'm very common about very normal for me to pay for lunches and do things for people. But we did almost a dozen transactions out of Applebee's in 1 year, just from teaching a couple bartenders how to transact with that communication with potential buyers and sellers from out of town and so on. So it could be very powerful. But as we go through this, we're going to look at newsletters, market snapshots. All these things are supplemental to your contact in your database. Nothing's going to replace this one thing, just secret, right? But as we progress, we really want to focus on a constant communication and a constant understanding that you are the professional in the space, with updates, what's going on with rates and all these that will teach you. All right. So the next thing is this allows you to become top of mind. You will be top of mind with them. There is data in how much time you have to spend in front of them to be top of mind. And it's typically about 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, we want to be in front of them in some way so you remain top of mind. So when that person does ask them, hey, do you know any great real estate agents? Or I'm thinking about buying or selling, you trigger that to a conversation that you go, hey, I've got a great agent. Do you need a referral? And then we can even script them, even if they say, yes, I've already got an agent. Hey, my guy's dynamite or my girl's dynamite. You should at least give them an option and choice as well. Don't you want to interview 2 or 3, right? So we can help teach them that language to move them along that process. So within your database, I want to leave you with this. You're going to have really several categories. A, clients that have bought and sold with you already. B, clients that you think without an exception would buy or sell with you. So that's your best friend, that's your mom and dad, that's your cousin, that's people that have said, hey, I will use you when I need to buy and sell. A C is everybody else in the universe. It could be somebody at Applebee's, you only know their first name, Jill, but you're going to go in and get first and last name, email, and phone number to bring them into your web to become a B or an A, right? And then a D is the people that you don't want to get a hold of. You want to delete them, right? I leave them in my database so I can identify them, but they're out there. There are people that are just ate a bag of lemons and they're just never happy. You want to identify them, but it's not to work with, it's to identify. So they're deletes or Ds, right? And then just icing on the cake, A+. Anybody that's bought or sold with me like an A multiple times, they're my inner circle, they're my VIP party, they're my VIP client, right? So A+ is the one that gets the invite to the personal dinner at your house. The A's get the invite maybe to the Christmas party and to the client appreciation events. All right. So I hope this has been valuable for you. We're going to break into groups and do some accountability partners and really practice this, because this is really the gold in the backyard of your business. All right. It's Coach Randy Byrd saying thank you. Have a great day, and we'll see you in boot camp. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.